Welcome to Reset to Healthier Relationships Sunday night at 9. I am your host, Coach Glenda, here with my course manager and co-host, Rufus Carpenter. As most of you know, Rufus and I have created this forum where you can discuss trials and triumphs in past and present relationships. We encourage everyone to share, speak their truth, and talk as much or as little as they would like. And just a few housekeeping rules. Please mute your devices until you're ready to speak to avoid any background noise, as well as let's be respectful and allow everyone to speak their truth to get their comments in. Without further ado, I would like to give Mr. Carpenter the opportunity to tell you a little bit about himself as well as his background.
Good evening, everybody. Like she says, I'm Rufus Carpenter. I'm the course manager and a coach here at Reset Healthy Relationships Sunday night at 9. Glad to have you here. I know there's a lot going on in the world and in your community and in your life right now, but you took time to be with us here on Sunday night. Again, my name is Rufus Carpenter. I come to this space a little different than most. My background started as a little child in Virginia and a family of 14. And in that family of 14, we all lived in a three bedroom, one bathroom house. And with 14 kids and two adults with one bathroom and only three bedrooms, if you ever had to sleep with four of your siblings and one is a vacation bedwetter, you understand the human connection. But hey, I was married 27 years, and being married 27 years, you learn a thing about trust, you learn a thing about commitment, you doggone sure learn about communication. And with these are the things and the things you need so much for a successful relationship, but these are the things you need for a tighter, stronger human connection and bond. My relationship training didn't stop there. I was in the United States Army, and one of my jobs in the United States Army was human and race relation leader, where I had the responsibility of going to all our Army units and I would investigate any race or relationship issues. I'd be the first person on the scene, and I do what's called an intake form. With the intake form, I would decide what level of responsibility or resources we had to throw at solving that problem. So my background in relationships is a little diverse. And plus, this Sunday night at 9 container is set up where 20 of you and your girlfriends are in one of your living rooms. It's Sunday after 9. The kids are in bed. So you guys might break out a bottle of wine or a couple glasses of this, a couple glasses of that, and you're relaxed. You're talking about relationships and relationship issues. Everybody's grown. And this is your chance to help the sister beside you or the brother that may be there and talk about things that you're going through in relationship training and relationship improvement. Because where do you learn about relationships at? Is it church? Or is it at school, at work, or in the street? Lord have mercy. If it's only on the experience, you may have some stories to share tonight. We found out that just the fact of saying some of the things you went through, some of your breakthroughs and some of your challenges, your sister beside you, she may be going through the same thing you went through and solved. And in her mind, it's no way out. But if you tell your truth, she know that if you can do it, she can do it too. So tonight, let's have a good time because tonight is a repeat subject from last week. Last week, oh man, this topic was off the chain. We had a ball with it. We thought it was going to be a light topic last week, but somewhere fire got in it, and we've got a lot to cover from last week. Let me update you from last week, and then we'll get right into this week part of it. The topic is the illusion of a perfect man. You know, when he's maintaining a fake image, how do you know the real him? And a lot of times the ladies say, well, hey, look, I thought that he was this when he was that, or I didn't have a clue who I was tied up to or hooked up to. And this because a lot of times it's an illusion. And we asked the question last week, why? Why do some men feel they have to have an illusion? They have to pretend that somebody they're not, they have to fake. The one reason is society. Society has put a lot of pressure on the man to be perfect. The man is the provider, the priest, the everything. And so if a man don't feel he quite muster up, but don't quite he think he has the goods, and he wants to approach people or ladies. He has to figure out the way to do it. And some people, I'm not gonna say lie, but some people put on a little bit more than what they are.
Mhm.
And with that, sometimes the ladies fall in love with the image instead of the man.
Right.
This remind me of Richard Pryor joke, because I like to have fun, just because I want to get this all right. Richard Pryor, and this is okay. I'm going down a rabbit hole, but follow me for a minute. Richard Pryor had a joke that he went to the nightclub and he met this woman, and she was bad, she was fine, she was all this and all that. So he got lucky, and they went to a hotel, and she said, "Cut the light out, baby." So he went to cut the light out, and he started notice she took out her hair, she took out her teeth. She took out some other parts and put all that on the dresser. Richard Pryor looked at her and said, "Hey, what's up?" She said, "Well, you ready?" He said, "No, I want the woman on the dresser. I don't want you." I had to do it. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I just had to do it. I apologize, Glenda. I had to do that. But that was to get us to the part of last week. Last week, we talked about the why people do it. And the biggest thing was societal pressure. A lot of women, they have their fairy tale version of what a man is. They're knight in shining armor, the tall, dark, slim, handsome fella. And sometimes that's not what's out there. But that's the illusion. So people feel they have to meet the illusion. We talk about red flags. We talk about red flags as sometimes if guys seem too perfect, and maybe some issues there. If everything is yes, all right, yeah, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. It may be some issues. And because when you start dealing with the red flags, and especially the fake images, oh man, ladies, how do you find the path to a real man? And we talked about that last week. How do you find that path to a real man? Something came up with some people's patience. Time will tell. You look for consistency. You look at the depth of his when he do things. How deep can he go in a situation, or how deep can he go in a conversation? Is he honest? Those kind of things come up. We did four illustrations. The first illustration with a guy, the provider. The first one where this guy wants his job, his car, his money, and all these things. And in your mind, you saying, "Wow, I got a provider here." But then when you need that person, they flake out, or they can't do it, or won't do, or whatever the situation is. And we talked about some one-offs in that, but that was the first one. The second, we talked about the charmer. The guy that's, oh man, this guy is Mr. Don Juan. He's it, all this and all that. But really, it's a fake image. Then we talked about the social king, the social butterfly, the person that looks good on the social media. As a matter of fact, we even went into talking about online dating, and we talked about some of the catfishing and some of the things that you find in there. And one person said that, hey, dating, don't knock online dating, because he said that he found his significant other there, and he talked about the benefit of it, and there's benefits. And we had a disclaimer: we're not saying all online dating is bad, but we're saying that we've heard so many horror stories. Okay, because you got some professionals out there that that's their fishing hole. That's their go-to. Okay, and we talked about the guy that never argues. And I think Sharon was on board last week, and Sharon said the guy never argues. You never get anything done. You never cover anything. You never solve anything.
Right.
And that's where we kind of left it there last week. We kind of ran out of time, and that's what brought us into this week. And this week we have a lot more to go, because it's a lot to it. As a matter of fact, last week the guys kind of took over. Normally this is a lady forum, but last week the guys kind of led it last week. So this week we're going to throw it out there. Glenda, back to you.
All right. Many women who are building, nurturing, or seeking healthy relationships struggle with the illusion of perfection in a partner. The perfect man may seem kind, ambitious, romantic, and supportive, but sometimes when we're seeing is a carefully managed image. This isn't always malicious. It can come from uncertainty, cultural pressures, or the fear of rejection. All right, so how do you move past the performance to discover the person? Can you, anyone that's on the line tonight, put in the chat, answer that question in a few words. How do you move past the performance to discover the real person that you're really talking to? How can you look past the show that they're putting on to really see to see who they really are and what they're really all about?
That's a real good question, Glenda. That's a real good question. I'm curious to see what's in the chat.
I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can throw my answer in here real quick. But have anybody that want to throw a response in the chat real quick?
I'll put one in there.
Okay.
I'll put one in
Can I
there.
put some?
Yes, please. You can say something.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Very well.
Okay. Listen, yeah, how you could tell is by watching their actions, watching what they say versus what they do, and watching what they do versus what they say. That's how you can tell.
Okay.
I don't know if that
All
makes
right.
sense.
Give me more than that though, Sharon.
Okay, what
I think you're going somewhere, but I think you just open the door, cracked it a little bit.
Okay, what I meant by that is, let's say you always hear from that person, I will do this, I want to do that, or I'm there for you, or whatever. But when it's time to show that or put your money where your mouth is, it's always an excuse or something came up, or like they never can back up what they say.
That's a real good one. That's a real good one because a lot of times when people like that, you can't. There's nothing you can attach to. There's no foundation you can build to. There's no structure in that relationship.
Right.
If you feel like you either alone or you carrying all the weight yourself.
Correct.
Yeah, it's hard to build with that one.
Now, someone put in the chat, listen to them. And I think that falls in line with what Sharon said tonight.
Flag, ding, 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 ding. Sometimes that listen to them would get you in trouble. They
No, but
want you to listen.
if you're paying attention to the conversation, people can't keep up a lie but for so long. So you have to pay attention to details. You have to pay attention to, I hate to say hang on every little word that they say, but you have to pay attention to a lot of the conversations. You got to be very attentive. Because see, if you ask the same question maybe in the next week or two and the response isn't the same, they better have a good explanation as to why their answer was this opposed to what it is today. So I do agree with listening to them because I listen very clearly and closely to people when they talk. That's how I know when you're talking that BS to me.
Ooh, okay. Anybody else want to share their comment that's in the chat? Or do you want to read some of the chats, Glenda?
Well, that was one that I saw in the chat, and I see also time is the tell all. And then continuous communication was also in the chat.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any other ones in the chat. Those are the only ones that were in the chat tonight.
Okay.
Can I
So,
say something?
Yes, you can.
absolutely.
Please.
I listen to what they don't say. I mean, people can talk and they can talk all day long, but it's what they don't say that I listen to the most.
Mm.
So the nonverbal cues is what we call that. The nonverbal cues. What are some of the nonverbal cues that people use that that maybe there's some issues, or maybe they're what they're feeling or saying, or what you're getting from them is not lined up with how they're performing in front of you. The old we used to talk about the crossing of the hands, the moving back in the community, moving back in the conversation, putting items between you and them, those type of things.
Or not being totally honest.
Yep. Not being honest. The lie has to go somewhere, is what they said. Yep. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Did we finish all the things from last week? Anybody got in the carryover? I'm sorry, I did review from last week, but I forgot to ask anybody having a carryover that they want to discuss. Any burning thoughts they left with last week that they had to wrestle with all week and they really want to get it solved now?
Grocery store. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Sharon. I can't hear you.
Sharon, did you have something you wanted to share?
Well, I think that's another conversation. Because I heard laundromat about 9. We ain't washing no clothes up in here, so that can't be us. but yeah, this topic right here is unique. And well, first let me ask you this: is this only unique to men? Do women have a false facade? Do women be more than they are? Do women actually have an illusion? Do women actually portray something different than what they are? Or is it just a man thing?
No, I think women, they come with the same illusion. Some.
Anybody want to add, any fellows want to ask about that one, or anybody want to talk about that one?
Someone else said some do in the chat. Some do. I won't even say most women, but I would just say some. I won't even say most. Because when you get to the age range of over 30 and up, it's like women really know what they want. Most women, they're not trying to play a whole lot of games because that biological clock is ticking and they're really at the point where they want to settle down with that Mr. Right, that knight in shining armor. So by, 35, 40, it's like all bets are off. It's no more games, I but there are some that will play to try to get in where they fit in and get all the resources and the benefits just to get to the next, get to the next dude. So I will agree that there are some women that will put on a persona or create an illusion to try to get what they want.
Okay, fair enough. Ladies on the line, if you met a man and you thought it was one thing and it was something different, how would you back out, or how would you pull out, or how would you terminate that relationship? How would you get that situation in check? What are some of the techniques that you would use, or how would you rectify that?
Repeat the question, Mr. Carpenter.
If you were a lady, and the ladies, this is the ladies, and you found out that you had been talking to this person for about 4 weeks. Let's say this person about 4 weeks, and when you first started talking to him, you just knew this was something. You led to believe this was going to be this and that, and he talked a good game. He showed the goods, like, hey. And then now you guys have been in. This is the going into this 5th or 6th week, and you realize this ain't what it needs to be. What are some of the things, techniques, or some of the procedures, or what a protocol, or how do you how do you guys fix that or handle that?
Cut it short.
Okay, you got to cut it short.
Cut it short. It's no going forth. I mean, if it doesn't line up, it don't line up. It's time to just cut it loose and move on, because it's no reason that you need to keep going on with a relationship when you realize um that this person is playing games with you. It's time to cut it short.
When you cut it short, you saying don't call me, I don't call you, or you saying block, or what are we saying?
I'm saying move on.
Let it go.
Let it go. Simple as that. That's what you have to do.
All right. Okay.
Because when you get up, I'm of a certain age, and I'll put it there. Let me speak for myself. I'm of a certain age. I know exactly what I want in a relationship going forth. If he's not lining up with what I want, or he's not, his conversation is not, I'm not saying being perfect, but along the lines of what I want, then it's time to cut it short. I'm too old to be playing games, and he should too be too old to be playing games. I mean, we're of age. We don't need that. So
And go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were finishing.
I'm just saying, hey, if he doesn't want me, hey, move on. I get more yeses than I do getting no's.
That's a
Simple as
good sign. That's a real good sign. That's a real good sign. Because my thing is, like you said, at the age, majority of us, we're about in the same age group. Some of us a little bit more younger, a little older than the other. But we're at the age group now where, like you said, we know what we want and don't want. And hopefully the person on the other end that we meet, whether it's at a laundromat or whether it's at a movies or whether it's at a club or whether it's at church or whether it's on a walk in the park, then when we meet that person's our age group and somebody that, that profess that they're single too or interested, the conversation is, hi, let's talk, or can we talk? And from that, can we talk, if we're dating, if we're a person that open to dating, and we're someone that's open to dating and don't mind, I'm not gonna say take a chance, but don't mind being out there. And you extend your courtesy or hospitality, and you guys briefly connect. And you feel that it's going somewhere. That this is a strong potential. This is strong potential. But something in the back of your head says, hey, let's hold up, let's take it slow. And you're taking it slow. Now it's not 6 weeks. Now it's maybe 8 weeks. It may be about 4 or 5 months. About 4 or 5 months. You guys taking it slow because you guys feel that that's what to do. And if you have jobs or social other commitments and stuff, so you don't see each other every weekend or regular as you want to, but you do. And behind the conversations over the phone and stuff like that, and the functions you do go to, now you guys gotten pretty close. And now you realize, uh-oh, something ain't quite right. You at a point where you got to make a decision. It's not quite right, but it's not you don't see real deal breakers at the point. It's not real deal breakers. It's not real non-negotiables right there, but it makes you wonder. Now, how do you keep looking to validate one way or the other? Or
I think sometimes that some women, and I'm not speaking for myself, they want things to be a certain way, but in the back of their mind, they know that this is not right. This is not going anywhere. I mean, you know whether you realize it or not, or you want to accept it. You know what's good and what's not.
Now, I've seen ladies that pull out the first aid kit out the back of the trunk and come out with some duct tape and start going to work.
Yeah, because those are women that are trying to change a man. They're trying to build a bay. They're not trying to, really, start all over. They would rather try to mend what they currently have, even though they see all the red flags, all these warning signs that this is not it, you need to hit the road and just cut all ties. These are women that they're thirsty, in my personal opinion. I mean, because at this age, I wouldn't pull out the first aid kit, not even the first band-aid to try to mend a man, especially after I've seen so many red flags. Because in the long term, because that's what I'm looking for, it's not going to benefit me. And 9 times out of 10, I should just say 10 out of 10, the relationship is going to end.
Right.
Yeah. Because some people play the long game. Some people say, if I can just hold on, if I just keep her on the line
False
until
hope.
this time.
That's false hope. You waste more time with false hope, thinking that this person is going to change. Let me give it another 6 months. Let me give it another 12 months. Before you know it, a whole year, 2 years, 3 years done passed, and you done wasted time on somebody that is not even emotionally investing into you.
Right. That's so true.
Because we all have been there. I've been there. We all been there. I mean, if we fess up, we all been there. On both sides of the fence, male and female. Because we're human first.
That's correct. Sometimes the mind wants to believe that the person can change. Right. And some people think that they can change that person just by being there, with them. If I accept this little bit of something, and then when you look at it, you've accepted a whole lot. And then the light bulb comes on. Okay, this person is never going to change. He's never going to be there for me.
No.
And at the end of the day, if they're not there for you, who are they there with? It's not you. It's somebody, but it's not you.
Right. Because you're not a priority in their life.
That's correct.
Last week, we got hung up on the part that if a person may not have the ability, but they have the desire. I think last week, that was a big part of last week's conversation, that if the person's a good person and they may not have the ability, but they have the desire to do well, the desire to be that person you need. But in their heart, they just don't have the ability. And I think
desire does not make a man come home at night. It does not make them come home.
Okay, because that's what I know. Last week we were on that because the person said if they have the desire but don't have the ability to, and that's what we got into that.
We can have desire. I mean, we can desire to be loved. We can be desire to be taken care of or whatever. But again, if that person does not desire to be with you, there's no devil in hell that can make them be with you. If they want to be with someone else.
Okay. Right. All right. Okay. Fair enough. I'll let that one go. but that was.
What did you mean when you say they may have a desire but not the ability? Because
last week it was a person said that they want to love and they want to love, but they just didn't have the ability to love, and it was a physical where they just had a physical ability to do, but they wanted to do, and the person mentioned that by virtue, let's because we're at an age where now ED. Like a man that want to do all of the things he want to do and can't do now.
Okay, I understand now what you
saying. Those type of things. Do the lady, she says, okay, that you can't, we won't, but we still gonna have our beautiful relationship and grow and go down the road of peace. Those type of things. When I said don't have the ability, those type of things. Do the ladies say, okay, I'll accept you as you are unconditionally. We'll suffer together. Or
can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
Can intimacy keep a relationship going?
No.
Not by itself, it can't. No. Not by itself. It needs some more. Elements with it.
On that for me.
Huh?
Elaborate on that for me.
For instance, love itself. Now, do you call love intimacy, or you call love just the thing of the heart, and intimacy more of the touch and more of the emotional and physical? But first, what's your definition of intimacy? So I know how to answer this for you.
Physically.
Okay, physical. Okay, physical intimacy. Okay. Now, physical intimacy, the things actually the arousal, the techniques, the pleasuring, and those type of things. Those type of things can't keep the relationship by itself. Because we're at an age now where there's gonna be a point where you physically touching me ain't gonna mean a thing. You know, it's gonna be a point in our life where you physically touching me, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun, but the bills gonna get paid. Bills got to get paid. I'm gonna have problems with my kids. I'm gonna have problems with my job. My back gonna be hurting. The car gonna need to be repaired. You know, we're gonna have to. You know, we're gonna have to go. If we want to have any type of entertainment on the weekend together, you know, it's a lot of things outside of the intimacy part that comes into play to hold a relationship together. So if you look at just that physical, you know, because I've heard people say, man, that girl is bad. Man, shoot, I drink her bathwater. Let me tell you this, let me tell you that. You know, is at our age, is that gonna carry us all the way to the finish line in life? Now, at a young age, hell yeah. Young age, shoot, do me, baby. they make songs about it. Do me, baby. Hey, you got me. I ain't going no place. But when I get a little older, a little tattered, and my responsibilities of life change, my grandkids become my grandpa. Can you come do this with me? Can you do that with me? And all those things, and I'm taken away from my intimate partner where I'm out handling things with other parts of the community and family. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. When you talk about unconditional love, you know, there's a lot more to intimacy there. There's a love of each other, love of God, the understanding of the requirement. You know, you guys have committed yourselves to each other through thick and thin. You've been through the issues. You've had the emotional deposits in each other's life. You've went through the hard times, ups and downs. You know, you're just happy to know that the person's upstairs or the person in the other room. You just, when they call you when they get to work, or when they call you when they've been out the house for a couple hours, hey honey, you need anything like this? Those things are things that help hold you in place. And they're not so much physical intimacy, but they're the intimacy of that connection of you and that person. These things in concert with the intimacy, yes, can hold it. Because that connection is so strong. You have so many emotional deposits, so many things to make that better, to connect that. So that's a different story. That's a different understanding. And it has to be a thing that a union that you and that person forged together. It can't be one person say, well, do me, baby, and if I knock the bottom out that, she ain't going nowhere. If I knock the bottom out of that, if I turn to a Six Flag ride, he ain't going nowhere.
So you're saying that sex will not keep a relationship going?
Not forever, no.
It's not going to sustain it, in my personal opinion.
No.
Because if you think about it, if something, an illness or a health issue comes up, and it affects the physical part of your relationship, what's going to happen then? Are y'all going to get a divorce? Are you going to break up? I mean, like, what's going to happen? Because your relationship was based on intimacy, the sexual part, the physical part.
Unless you have the open marriages, open relationships, modern relationships.
Well,
that's not going to work.
Okay. Since we're talking we're putting everything on the board here. I mean, we're talking everything on the board.
Right.
We're talking everything on the board.
No, I'm asking I'm asking the questions, more or less playing devil's advocate, because a lot of people do think that sex will keep a marriage going, but it doesn't. You
It
know,
does.
I was married. It didn't keep sex wasn't the problem. It was the coming home at night.
Right.
And that's why I said it has to be the union, that connection between a person, intimacy, that love of God, love of each other, that all those other things that come into play. And when they said that cord that wraps, binds, it has to be something there. And a lot of people build it over time. Some couples build it and they don't have to have sex. And they build that closeness together, and that bond is so close that, hey, and these are the couples you see that one dies 6 months later, the other die, because they invest so much in each other that they can't live without each other. I'm at an age now where that's true for me. I'm at an age now where sex is important, but sex is not it. There's other factors now that's important to me in a relationship now. My intimacy is how you look at me now. It's how you talk to me, how we have dinner together, how we sit and how we ride in the car, or how we strategize on what we're going to do. This intimacy for me right now, this has much or maybe more for me than the actual physical sex. So there's a lot there, especially at our age. And then you got to realize something. At our age, it's our personal health,
Mhm.
it's our understanding, it's our partner's personal health.
Yes.
It's a lot of factors there. It's a lot of factors there. It's not just now, do I want sex?
Mhm.
It's who I want sex from first. And then, and then what goes with that. Because was a time in my life, shoot, all you had to do was be cute. That was a requirement. Hey, now, shoot. Now you gotta be cute. I gotta know you. I gotta watch you. It's all kind of, I'm just having fun. But
Yeah, you gotta know their habits.
yeah. Yeah, now back then sex didn't have a consequence for me when I was young. When I was young, shoot. Matter of fact, when I was young, it was like bowling pins. Line them up. I'm gonna knock them down. But now it's everything has consequences now. Everything costs now. And I'm not talking about dollars and cents. Everything costs now. It's time, it's emotional deposits, it's so many uncertainties now. At our age, when you start playing people's feelings, you can really get hurt. You spend time, you hurt them, now you can get hurt. Yes, yes. So yeah, so it's interesting. It's very interesting, and that's one reason why this was a very important topic that we wanted to get into, because a lot of people, a lot of men feel they have to play games, and a lot of men feel they have to have an illusion. A lot of men feel they have to win you over. A lot of men forget that they are charming themselves and they have qualities within them. God has put gifts inside of them where they could use the gifts as they are and be very effective in a relationship or in a open setting. But they fail to realize that, and they feel they have to mask themselves. They feel they have to be somebody they're not. They feel they got to lead with the money, or they feel they got to be the best conversationalist, or they feel they got to dress a certain way, or they feel they have to pretend.
A man can have all the money in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, it's how you treat me.
Mhm.
It's how you do me, how you respect me. Are you honest with me? I mean, money is good, and it makes the world go round, and it finances things that you love. But at the end of the day, if you are not treating me well, there's no amount of money that'll make me stay.
Well,
Ladies,
on the flip side of that, what if I'm treating you well and giving you all you got and ain't got no money? You still gonna get me to the curb?
It's how you treat me.
Like I said, if I'm treating you well and giving you the best that I got, but I don't have the finances to back it, are you still gonna kick me to the curb?
It's how you treat me.
That's not answering the question.
I think she answered the question. I think what she's saying is this. She's saying this, that the money don't matter. If you're treating her right, she'll have to bring her own table. She got her money herself. That's what she feels. She feels she has her own money. She just don't have that other end of the equation she's looking for. And if you have the other end of the equation she's looking for, money's not an issue. It's what she's saying in so many words. Am I reading that right?
Yes, yes.
Well, but
Because
I was asking though, if I'm treating you right in all other aspects,
but
and I
money
don't have
money doesn't play into it. It's how
okay,
you treat me. It's how
okay,
you treat me. How you treat me. At the end of the day, I don't care if you don't have 2 pennies to your name. It's how you treat me.
who
How
is
you
this
make
speaking?
it's how you make me feel when I'm with you.
Who am I speaking with?
Chi.
Okay, Gigi, guess what? I admire you. You're very, very rare because I've been around for 59 years, and I promise you, I can treat them ever so sweet because that's in my heart. But for a long time, the finances was never there because I've been disabled and I've been used and kicked to the curb. That's why I made that statement to ask that question. I admire you.
Thank you.
Okay. That brought me to an interesting question. Listen to you guys talk. Ladies, help me out. What do you find attractive about a man when you go on? Let's say you out. Well, it could be a club, or it could be out walking, or it could be out with your girls. And what's attractive about a man? What do you first notice about a man? What are some of the things you said are attractive in a man
He
when you see
sees
him?
me. He
Okay,
sees me.
he sees you. That's one. He sees you. So in other words, he lets you know that he noticed you in some form or fashion. Is that correct? Did I pronounce it? Did I hit it right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more? So see you. Any other ladies want to help me out with this? Okay. All right. So we're going to see you. um.
And what I find attractive is the man being confident in who he is, confident in himself. He ain't got to act a certain way. He ain't got to put on no front. He ain't got to act like the boys he see ahead of him walking and doing. I like them just to be natural.
Natural and self confidence. Okay. Natural and self confidence. Give me one more. Any more ladies? Any more other than see you and natural and self confidence?
I like for him to I guess I'll say he has a sense of care for himself. You know, he doesn't be arrogant or don't come off like he's the best thing in the world, but he has a sense of confidence in himself, the way he projects himself, and he projects himself with his pride for himself. I like that.
Okay, sense of self. Now, ladies, when you're out with your girls out by yourself, would you I want to make some answer the right way. Would you be offended if a man approach you and want to know your name or want to start a conversation?
Nope.
No. No.
Okay. No, no. Okay, got a couple no's. Okay. What would be okay then? And I'm just making sure because this since the topic tonight, the illusion of a perfect man, when he's maintaining a false image, and how do you know the real man? That's why I want to know how would a woman want to be approached by a man, a sincere man, and that's what I was trying to get the opposite of this. So so we can let this show, this podcast, be a lesson to the fellas that, hey, you don't have to go out and be all this and all that. Well, here's what women really look for in being approached from a sincere person. That's what I'm trying to get to right now. That's the root of my conversation and question right now, because this is a helpful form, and and then you get some guys. So some guys feel that they have to be Mr. Perfect in order for you to even notice them. When now you're telling me you want to be noticed, and then you're noticing our confidence, and then you notice how we care for ourselves. Whether we got dirty shoes, dirt up on our fingernails, and this kind of stuff. That was you talking about, Annette, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So those type of things. So that's what. Any other comments about ladies? What do you, when you look at a man, or when you notice a man, or you notice somebody's attractive? What are some of the other things you see? Because I got 3 things already. Any additional things?
Well,
Go ahead. Whoever's talking, go ahead. I had a whale. What was after whale?
She's getting her.
A deep subject. A deep subject.
Oh, who? I get that guy. I
A
missed
deep subject.
A
That's
deep
what a
subject.
whale is. Yeah, whale is a deep subject.
Okay, I was lost. I'm glad you helped me out. I was lost.
well, let me say this.
Go ahead.
When I was coming up, my granddaddy said, the guy would come to visit, and he would say, daughter, that man too clean. He ain't gonna work.
Come in, Nate.
He would always say, a man that comes, if you see a man that's got dirty boots and he look like he just got off work, he may have some substance there. But if you see one too clean every time you see him, he's not gonna work.
Yeah, player.
Well,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
let
All
me
right.
say something real quick.
Go ahead, sir.
Rufus, I told you this from way back. From my experience, my 59 years, females, basically, the average female is only interested in 3 things really to start off a relationship with a man. Rufus, you remember what those 3 things was I told you?
I remember, but I want you to say it. I don't want to say it. I want you to say it.
All right, I'm gonna break it down. And ladies,
See,
I'm
so
not
the ladies
pointing the
good for
finger.
you instead of me. Go
Okay,
ahead.
ladies, I'm not saying you, so don't take it personal. But the average lady only need 3 things from a man to get started, and that would be the start of a good relationship. Do y'all have any idea what those 3 things is before I
I'm waiting. I'm
spread it
waiting.
out?
Go
I'm
ahead.
waiting.
Go ahead. Bring it, Miss Kim. Miss Kim,
All right,
that's
I'm gonna
not
break
question
it
and
down
answer.
to you,
You
and
bring it.
I promise you, with the men that's on the line, I guarantee you, if you do it, you won't have a problem. And what that is, the first thing that a man can do to catch a woman is to listen to them. Shut them up and listen to them. When you listen to a female, first of all, that's the first step. The second step, okay, is the communication with that person. Because if you listen to them and shut up, you'll know how to communicate because you know what to talk about. You understand? And when you give a good conversation, ladies, you know what I'm talking about when I say a good conversation. It ain't got to be about sex or no finances, none of that stuff. It can be a general conversation in life itself or whatever it might be. You understand? You're going to gain trust. You're going to get comfortable with that person, and that person going to give you quality time. Before you realize it, you are done sat there and an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours done passed. Y'all done set the stage now for a perfect foundation. I can be passing through and say, hey, I'm passing through back on my way to Miami. And you can be there. I say, I'm going to stop at the Huddle House or Waffle House. Give me a cup of coffee. Would you like to join me? Well, you already got them 2 or 3 hours in comfortability in. The first thing you're going to say, I ain't doing nothing. Why not? And before you realize it, y'all got a relationship going on. Well, I'm gonna take that back. It's not a relationship, it's a friendship. Because that's what you done developed, a friendship.
A situationship.
Whatever you want
Wait,
to call it, because it's a
Mr. Keenum, give them the third thing because I don't want them to guess it. Because you only came up with two so
quality
far.
time.
What now?
Quality time. That's the third
Okay.
thing.
All right. I want them to make sure they understood it because
You
I didn't
got,
want to.
first of all, someone to listen, someone who communicate with you, and now you're giving them what they call quality time, because that's what a lot of females desire at that time. Okay, and once you build that foundation, everything else will fall in place, because you're not building it on sex, you're not building it on finances, you're not building on none of that. It's naturally being built because you're receiving those things. I'm not saying that none of that other stuff matters, but it's not in play because everything else is falling like a walking up a ladder. Do y'all agree?
Those are some good points. I will agree with you. They're a great starting point.
That's
Yeah.
all it takes. You got to start before you got to crawl before you walk. And if a man come and approach you with that attitude, he's already got you in a way before you even realize it. Because one, you want somebody that's gonna pay attention to you. You're gonna want somebody who can communicate with you and
Time
relate with
good.
you. And
Time.
third, with all that being done, guess what's happening? You are developing a relationship, friendship, situationship, whatever you want to call it, because he's spending that time with you.
Okay.
All right.
You want a
Let's get
man that's gonna spend that time.
Mr. Kingdom. Let's give some ladies some chance to talk because Glenda was the only one to talk so far. Any ladies online want to talk? Want to share their comments about what he said, or any counter comments, or any suggestions, or any thoughts on that?
Time and communication is a good point. I agree with him on that.
Okay.
What about the listening? You missing the listening.
Well,
That's the main key.
if you're communicating with me, you're listening.
Right. That's part of communication. Active listener. All right. Okay. That's one. Any other ladies on the line want to comment? Want to share or weigh in? As they say, weigh in on this conversation. Part of the conversation. Okay. If it's no one else want to talk about weigh in on this, Glenda, let's get to wrap this in because I think we've covered this subject pretty good. I think we've got almost all the meat out of this one. No meat on the bone left on this one. I think we've got everything, so everybody knows now pretty much the red flags and knows when a person's not who they really need to be. We know that you patiently wait them out, and time will tell, and we know that they can't. Someone said they can't hold that facade long. Eventually, they start tripping up on their own words and their own actions and deeds. So we've got that pretty much squared away.
Let me
Anything?
make a comment. Burgess. Let me make a comment real quick, and then she can close out.
Okay.
Ladies, don't get it twisted with that quality time though, because a lot of y'all desire that time. Y'all want that affection. But then when you get that man that gives you that on a regular, some people get it mixed up and think that's what they wanted. They first thing they gonna start hollering, quit smothering me. Go get a life. When you desired that from the beginning. He's doing what you asked. But a lot of females, that's what they want. But then when they get it, they realize that's not what they really want. So you got to really know what you want to be specific.
I love time and communication.
Okay. But I said you one of a kind anyway. I love and admire you for that.
Hey, Glenda, you
Thank
want
you, Kingdom.
to Glenda, you want to give us give us an affirmation and a journal prompt. We haven't had those in a while. Want to give us one affirmation or one journal prompt before we close this out?
Um, I'll give you affirmation. I am
Okay.
worthy of love that is honest. I choose authenticity over perfection.
Okay.
My intuition is strong and I trust it. I will not settle for performance. I deserve the real thing.
So Awesome. That's awesome. Did everybody kind of hear those, get those
Yes,
affirmations?
I love those.
That's awesome. Can you, I guess we put them in a chat or put them in a chat. Linda, put them in the chat for us right quick if you can, or how you want to do that?
I can see because every time I try to put something in the chat by copying and pasting, it never works. Nobody can
Okay.
see, but I will try.
Then I tell you what, do it this way. Somebody already got them in there already. Oh, that's you. That's somebody else. That's you, Glenda, or somebody else got it there.
That's me.
Oh, that's you. Okay. And if you don't get it, put it in the next when you send out the next notice of the meeting, just put it in that email, and then we know they got it.
Okay.
Now, y'all ladies, be careful now because y'all asking for the real thing. Somebody be honest in the real thing. Can y'all handle the real thing sometimes?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I told you special. You don't need to comment no more. You special. I love you, baby. You special. I wish I wasn't married. I'd show you.
Oh
Glenda,
my
take us home.
goodness.
Glenda, take us home.
Okay, before we close tonight, I want to
pray.
speak.
You need to pray for us tonight, Glenda. Say a prayer for us.
Yeah,
Okay,
you need
It's a
to.
prayer.
I want to speak life and power into this circle of individuals. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time of truth, reflection, and connection. We thank you for the wisdom shared and encouraged within each person here tonight. Lord, remind us that we are not called to chase illusions, but to embrace what is real, what is honest, and what is healthy. Tonight, we release every false image that has tried to deceive us, every mask that has blocked us from seeing the truth, and every doubt that has tried to silence our intuition. We claim clarity, discernment, and strength. As we leave this space, we carry confidence, clarity, and the courage to expect nothing less than what we truly deserve. Let us continue to uplift one another because together we are powerful, we are whole, and we are love. Amen. And so it is. Y'all have a great rest of your
Noted be. Amen.
a wonderful week upcoming. Happy Labor Day tomorrow. Be safe.
I want some barbecue from somebody.
Thank you.
Everybody's
Okay,
been
good
ready.
night, everyone.
Good
You
night.
guys are the awesomest audience in the world. Thank you for showing up and being